My wife told me she needed space, so she started spending nights at her best friend's apartment, claiming they were binge-watching old sitcoms and drinking cheap wine. I didn't think much of it at first, until I came home early one night and found her suitcase missing and half her clothes gone. No note, just a text hours later, "Don't freak out, I'm safe." I freaked out, naturally, but when she finally called me 2 days later, her voice was different, lighter. She told me she'd fallen in love with her best friend, and that they'd been sneaking around for months, building a life I never saw coming. It hit me like a truck. The woman I'd built my world around had chosen someone else, and it wasn't even another man. All those late-night whispers, the sudden giggling during phone calls, the secret smiles, they made sense now. I asked if there was someone else and she didn't even flinch. She said she was sorry, that things had changed, that she was happier than she'd ever been. I was angry, humiliated, but mostly I felt stupid. The betrayal stung, but buried underneath was something I couldn't shake. I missed her, even as she told me about all the plans she and her new girlfriend were making. Weeks passed. I started to move on, numbly scrolling through dating apps and filling my nights with work. That's when they showed up at my door, both of them, holding hands. My wife, ex-wife, I guess, looked nervous, her friend even more so. They started talking about family, about how they wanted a baby, about how I was the only person they trusted. "We want you to be our sperm donor," she said, as if asking for a cup of sugar. I laughed, thinking it was a joke, but she was deadly serious. She wanted me to help them start their new life, the one I'd never be a part of. I should have slammed the door in their faces, but instead, I stood there, torn and speechless. Part of me wanted to say yes, to prove I was the bigger person. Another part wanted to scream, to demand how she could ask me for this after everything. In that moment, I realized I wasn't just mourning a marriage, I was mourning the future I thought I'd have, the trust I thought was unbreakable. Saying yes would mean staying connected to her forever, but saying no felt like losing the last piece of her I had left. And as they waited for my answer, I realized I didn't even know what I wanted anymore.